Yesterday's election result. First thing, it's good to see Jeremy Corbyn and his communist chums hopefully kicked into the trash can of history. I have my doubts. They have a horrible way of making comebacks. Secondly, Boris Johnson looks like he's done extremely well. He's certainly won the election by a big margin, and he's now got a mandate. But the question I'm going to ask is, what is Boris going to do with that mandate? The treaty that he put before Parliament before the election was Theresa May's betrayal treaty. It was Brino, it was Brexit in name only. And if he thinks he's got a mandate for that, well, he might win this. He might have won this election, but the people of the United Kingdom will not be so forgiving next time. I don't trust Boris Johnson. I don't trust the Conservative Party. I believe they could well be setting us up for a Brino, for Brexit in name only. And of course, the other problem with Boris's deal, and this is something that I'll be protesting outside Downing Street about today at 3:00. So if anyone's in London today at 3:00, I will be there. I may well be like Martin Luther, taking a stand on my own, saying, "Here I stand, I can do no other." But I'm going to be outside Downing Street at 3:00 with a banner saying, "Get the EU out of Ulster." Now, Northern Ireland, the election in Northern Ireland, for my constituency, was a disaster. We have a Remainiac MP now. We had a Remainiac MP before, but this guy's even worse than the last one, who is also, as far as I know, I need to fact check this, but I've been led to believe that our new MP is also not supportive of veterans. He's not supportive of the veterans that were involved in so-called controversial shootings in Northern Ireland in the 70s and 80s. He has supported scores of votes that Sinn Féin have supported. He's a progressive. No doubt he's an open borders man and a globalist. And that's our new MP. And we had the chance to have a fantastic MP, but he lost by 3,000 votes. That's what happens when you have voter apathy and when you have the vote being split. That's my own constituency. The DUP across the board, and the DUP obviously is really the only true Brexit party in Northern Ireland, apart from the TUV as well, but the TUV didn't stand in this election to give the DUP a chance to maximise its vote. The DUP did very badly, and the strategists in the DUP need to go and do a hell of a lot of soul searching and find out what went wrong. Or could it just be that Northern Ireland is now catching up with the rest of the Western world and is in this dreadful slide into this progressive globalist utopian idea of politics? If so, then Northern Ireland is lost. And I've spoken about this many times. You all know my opinion on abortion. I'm absolutely fundamentally opposed to abortion for lots of reasons. Primarily because innocent little boys and little girls are now going to be slaughtered in the womb in Northern Ireland. And I think that's absolutely appalling. I think there's been 8 million babies killed since the 1960s in mainland GB. And now Northern Ireland is going to have that on the statute books as well. And they've got a mandate for it now, thanks to all the people, some professing to be Christians, who voted for Stephen Farry. Very, very, very sad indeed. So that's where we're at. Will Boris deliver Brexit properly? I hope so. Will the communists disappear into history? Probably not. What we need to do, and this is where all the people who've been involved in our movement in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland need to come together, and we need to form an alliance. And that alliance needs to be political, it needs to be social, and it needs to be educational. And we need to first of all start educating our people, young and old, about British heritage, British culture, what it's all about, what it's not about the great things that Britain's achieved in terms of democracy, freedom, and also, yes, look at the bad things that Britain's done. But education is absolutely key, because at the minute, I think this is one of the big problems we've got. The education system, the official education system, is completely controlled by the left. So we need to start educating our children, educating each other. And again, I've been working with colleagues on this for some time, and we're hopefully going to have some good quality video materials to really educate ourselves about why it's great to be British and why we should be proud of being British. So education's one of the first things that I believe we've got to do. Secondly, we need an alliance of like-minded people up and down the country, and it needs to be loose. It needs to be multi-level. It needs to have lots of different facets to it. But we all need to work together. People who have common cause, and to do that, we need an ideological base. And again, I believe we've got that with the UK Freedom Movement. And finally, we absolutely need a political party that will represent the patriotic British working class. Now, the Conservative Party's got all those votes at the minute, but very soon people are going to realise that the Conservative Party is every bit as bad. Those Labour supporters are going to realise the Conservative Party is every bit as bad as the Labour Party when they start betraying them. The Conservative Party under Boris Johnson is not going to do a whole lot about immigration. It's not going to do a whole lot about protecting British culture. It's not going to do a whole lot about the Islamisation of the United Kingdom. So we need a party that will genuinely represent the British patriotic working class. Now, notice when I say the British patriotic working class, I am not talking about some crazy ethno-state or some crazy issue where it's about the colour of your skin. That's not what we're about at all. We're about developing a movement of British patriots, whether they be Hindu, Sikh, Jewish, black, white, yellow, doesn't matter what colour the skin is. It matters the content of the character, as Martin Luther King Jr. said. And that's what I'm passionate about. Having a real movement for real people who care about this country. Not based on your colour or your religion, but based on your love for your nation, for your family, and for what is right and for what is good. So that's my passion. That's what I think we need to do. And if we're going to do that, we need to get moving fast, because Boris will be in power for 5 years unless something disastrous goes wrong, which I can't see happening. Boris will be in power for 5 years, so that gives us a long time to build something, but not a very long time. I think we need to look at what Anne-Marie Waters is doing with For Britain. I don't think For Britain is the complete answer. I've really done a lot of soul searching about this, but I think For Britain is part of the answer, part of the solution to the problem that we face in this country. But last night's election has not solved the problem. Last night's election, hopefully it'll get us a proper Brexit. I doubt it, but hopefully it will. But that doesn't solve the other issues that this country's facing. Huge issues. And the other issues that the countries of Europe are facing, and America for that matter. So we need to build this alliance, and we need to do it very, very quickly. And that's what I think we need to start doing now. And we need to give the people of this country a party and a political philosophy that they can follow and they can get passionate about. And that's the desperate need of the hour. That is the desperate need of the hour. So let's hope Boris delivers Brexit. Let's see what happens. I'm doubtful, but who knows? He may put out the bag. But putting all that aside, we need to build this movement, and we need to do it very, very quickly. See you all soon.